game? Make a game! What's a game? What's a game? I'm a Kamen Rider.
What's up, everybody? It's the Quarter Guy, and it certainly is quite a time to be a Mega Man fan these past few years. I mean, we got the Legacy Collections that sold in the millions. We got the X Collection, which sold over 1 million. Mega Man 11 selling over 1 million. And now we have the Mega Man 0 and ZX Legacy Collections. It's like, after so many years of not Mega Man, we're getting like a lot of Mega Man from Capcom. Including a couple of upcoming mobile projects. And there's this one mystery Mega Man game that we don't know anything about yet, but Capcom will reveal it when it's time, I'm sure. But that got me to thinking recently. There are only a few generations of Mega Man that don't have the Legacy Collection yet, so I can only wonder which one's next. Let's start with the big elephant in the room. Mega Man Legends. Granted, there have only been 2 mainline Legends games and that spin-off, and a couple of other side games, which were never released on consoles, but it would be, if there were gonna be a Legends Legacy Collection, it would have to include not only Legends 1 and 2, but also the Misadventures of Tron Bonne. It'd be pretty convenient to have all 3 of those games in one place and not have to pay out the nose for them. Well, but then again, it would also kind of bring up the painful memories of Legends 3 being cancelled. Why did that have to happen when it was so close to being finished, allegedly? Also, aside from that, what other feature would they include in that one? That I'm not too sure about. Then we got Mega Man Battle Network. We have 6 individual entries in there, not counting versions. But the thing is, versions would probably be the interesting thing about that Legacy Collection if it happens. Like, how would they handle it? Would they have all the data in one game, or would they like have it all divided between them all, and including the separate save files for each one? Which version of 5 would they go with? Would they have the separate Game Boy Advance versions, or would they go with Double Team DS? There's a lot of variables there. Also, how'd they handle the Bowtie crossover, especially considering Konami lately? Yeesh. Now, I think a special feature that would be cool to include in a Battle Network Legacy Collection would be online net battling. One of the cool things about Battle Network is the fact that you could connect with another player and do online play, which would also come to play for the other generation that I'll get to shortly. But interesting thing about that would be how they handle it properly. As long as they have good net code, I wouldn't be bothered, but there's so many battle chips among all those games, and so many styles, the double soul, the cross system, all that stuff. What would go into a net play mode? Would there be a separate one for each game? There would be a lot to consider there for online net battling. But man, it would certainly be fun, not gonna lie. And then there's Mega Man Star Force, which is kind of in the same boat as Battle Network. I think Star Force would especially benefit from having a Legacy Collection on modern platforms, mainly because it would actually be able to implement some of the stuff that you no longer can with the original DS games, specifically involving the online features, including the Brother Band and the online wave battling, mainly because that was dependent on the old Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. Since that's no longer a thing, you can no longer really use those features anymore on the original games, and, well, that kinda limits them. So I feel like a Legacy Collection probably benefits Star Force the most, especially since Star Force was largely overlooked by the Mega Man fanbase. I can kinda see why, partially because it was basically a successor of Battle Network, and also it was during the time that there was so much Mega Man that it kind of oversaturated it. So, but still, I think it would be really cool to see beyond the Star Force game released during a time when Mega Man is relevant again, and not to mention having the features of modern online consoles. Especially cool for the Switch that you could take it with you, so that'd be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, there is that mystery game. Is it the next Classic Series game? Is it X9? Is it gonna be a new spin-off? Or could it even be Legends 3? I don't know. But I'm certainly excited to find out, not gonna lie. Anyways, I got more updates. I've begun work on my next countdown, which is coming out this month. Top 10 video game mindfucks. You know, it's those moments that are so weird and bizarre that makes you wonder what the hell is going on. So, I've got my candidates ordered, and I'm beginning scripting today. So, look forward to that later this month. I might post, and I'll probably post another community post with that on April Fool's Day because it would be the perfect day for it. Of course, I don't want to mess up my schedule, of course, but... Yep. Alright, so... Anyways, for my question of the week, what should be the next Megaman Legacy Collection? As always, leave your answers in the comments. Favorite comments will be featured in the next episode. Here are last week's winners. And with that, time for the fourth wall mailbag. As always, look for the community post, and I'll answer my favorite questions in the next episode. First question this week comes from Mind Flameblade, who asks, have you ever changed your opinion on a video game or anime character? Actually, yeah, I have. I remember back when I made my top 15 most hated video game characters. I do not remember that fondly. That has aged like sour milk. Probably because I forced my anger and I kind of missed the point about video game characters being hateable. And nowadays it's kind of hard for me to outright hate a game character for reasons other than you're supposed to. In fact, one of those characters on that original list, Yuki Terami, is now one of my favorite video game villains. I enjoyed making that villains list too, by the way. But yeah, there are reasons you're supposed to hate a villain. Some characters are purposely written to be hateable, and that's a point that kind of escaped me way back then. Yeah. But, oh well. Live and learn, I guess. Next question comes from Red Tommy, who asks, you think that Tekken Cross Street Fighter will ever escape development hell? Right now, at this point, I don't think it ever will, and more importantly, I think it's gone past the point that it should. I mean, after the mixed reception of Street Fighter Cross Tekken and all its gems, all the on-disc DLC, I feel like what was going to happen with Tekken Cross Street Fighter has kind of been largely forgotten. And it's probably to the point where if they tried to bring it back, it would probably not live up to any kind of expectations at this point. The closest we probably ever going to get is the fact that Akuma's in Tekken 7. And, well, it could work if they handle it properly, but is it really worth it at this point? I honestly don't think it is. Next question comes from Cure Crystal, who asks, do you think BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is dead due to it not being at EVO this year? Okay, this is something I need to stress. EVO does not determine whether a game is live or dead. Sometimes I think people put too much stock in EVO. But the thing is, even games that aren't at EVO still have thriving communities. Even Melee. Heck, even Arcana Heart has a dedicated fan base. Also, bless you, Team Arcana, for taking up the reins of Examu's projects after their shutdown. Bless you for that. But the thing is, for any fighting game, or heck, any game in general, a game is only dead when the players let it die. As long as there are still dedicated fans to a game or series, it's not dead. And that's what keeps games alive. The players. Heck, that's why we have a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 EVO special tournament this year, because Marvel 2's influence is still felt even to this day. And it's still remembered to this day. Last question this week comes from, would you like to see a Darkstalkers reboot? At this point, I would like to see a Darkstalkers anything.